Hello my friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have the 25 days of Christmas tags for 2020 and today is day 24. It happens to be the day that Heffy Doodle is sponsoring, so I'm excited to share my tag with you. Let's go ahead and talk about the products we're going to be using today. I have this really fun little stamp set. This is the Sweet Stuff stamp, and it has a matching die. I've got some cherry on top cardstock. We're going to be using the Roundabout sentiments along with the matching die that it has. And then our tag will be the tag along dies. So you can make this into a shaker or just regular tags. And then we have some alcohol marker cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out the images that we're going to use, but before we do that, let's cut out our tags. I'm going to do it out of some white cardstock along with this cherry on top cardstock, and it fits perfectly into my little Heffy Doodle mini die cutting machine, which I have been using the stew out of. I love this thing. So here's what the tags look like, and now we're going to do our stamping. So I've got that alcohol marker cardstock. I'm going to stamp out the little lollipop. We're going to stamp that out 6 times. I need it 3 for each tag. And then we'll go ahead and start our coloring. We've got some E33 for all of our sticks. You'll notice I smudged one. It wasn't completely dry, so I will have to re-stamp one. And then I smeared it everywhere. I was using some ink on 3 blackout ink. And then we'll use some E99 for some shadowing on our stick. And then we'll blend that back out again with our lighter color. These are going to be some very simple colored little lollipops. So for our reds, because I want these to be red and white, we're using R24. I will bring in 2 more colors for the reds, but for our grays, we're only going to use 2 colors. 3 of those popsicles or lollipops are going to be colored this way, and then I'm going to reverse it and color the red on the top for our other 3. I guess these remind me of cake pops, not really lollipops, huh? Then we'll bring in the R29. That's going to be our mid-tone color. And I'm kind of just staying away from the edges, adding it where I think the darker would be. And then we'll bring in some R59, that'll be our darkest color. And then we'll blend all of that out with that R24. And we're going to do the same thing with the other 2 that are like this. And then we'll come in and do our red on the bottom. So that was R24, and then we'll bring in our next darkest color, and then our darkest on top of that. And then we'll blend all that out with our R24. For our grays, we're going to be using some C's. We're using some C3 and C1, and this is going to be a little bit simpler, just adding a little bit down there at the bottom, and then I'll blend that out with that C1. And then same thing for the top of our little cake pop. We'll do that as well. So like I said, this is day 24 of the 25 days of Christmas tags, and I'm going to have all the information linked down below in my blog. So you just head to my blog and it'll point you to all the places to go because you're going to want to make some tags. There are lots of prizes available. Like I said, Heffy Doodle is sponsoring today. I went ahead and cut out a banner using the cherry on top, and we're also going to cut it out of some white. And now we're going to take our matching die for our cake pop and run that through our die cutting machine all 6 times. And then we'll get ready to stamp out our sentiment that says Happy Holidays. That one comes, like I said, from the Roundabout sentiments. I'm going to stamp that using some Juicy ink by Ink on 3, and then covering that with some white embossing powder on that cherry on top cardstock. And then I'll heat set that till that is smooth and melted. And then for our white banner, we're just going to stamp it using the Ink on 3's blackout ink. Wanted to use 2 different tags because I thought that would just be a lot of fun. You can always use plenty of tags at Christmas, right? And then I've got my layout kind of set. So then we'll get ready to do a little bit more. I felt like these tags needed some ink blending at the bottom. So for this first one, we're going to use some Simon Hurley Woof ink. I'm going to blend it from the bottom and blend it up. And then for our red, we're actually going to use some Game Over ink by Simon Hurley, and we'll do the same kind of blending. It'll just add a darker tone at the very, very bottom. I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of our cake pops just at the top. I want those to be popped up. And I'll go ahead and put that on all 6 of them. And then I'll take off the release paper and put a little bit of liquid glue on the sticks themselves. So only the top of the cake pop will be popped up. And yes, they'll be a little bit sticking down, but that's okay. We're going to cut that off. And then we'll flip that over, cut off our excess, and then we are going to put some foam tape on the back of our Happy Holiday sentiment using some skinny strips of foam tape. And that's the only place we're going to put it. We are going to use liquid glue on the little flag ends, but these little banners had some score lines, so I went ahead and scored those where the score lines were. And then we'll use liquid glue on the little flag and banners. And then we'll just stick this down on top of our cake pops. And we do the same thing with the other one. Now we need to get our tags all ready to be attached to something. So I've got some baker's twine. This is some black and white baker's twine. I'm going to double it up for each one because I want to make sure it's nice and thick. So I fold that in half. I stick all the ends through from the back. And then, as you can see what I'm doing, I just kind of add a little knot to the top. And that will keep that on there nice and secure. Now I want to add a bow, so once again I've doubled up my baker's twine. I'm going to tie a knot, and then we'll tie our bow from there and just keep manipulating that until we're happy with how that bow is. I want to add some glossy accents to each of the tops of our little cake pops to make them look nice and shiny. It looks a little bit cloudy right now, but when it dries it will dry completely clear. But I know I can't stop there. I definitely want to add some of that Lawn Fawn chunky glitter. I'm just going to take a little bit in my fingers and just kind of dust that over the top just to add a little bit more sparkle and shine. And we'll do it for the red ones as well. What you don't see me do in this video is I'm going to hand draw some stars and put some little dots in here. On this red one I'll use a white gel pen for that one. And then the other one we use a starry, it's just like a starry glitter one. And those are both from Sakura, so I'll have those linked down below. But once I get that all, crystal glazed up or some glossy accents on there and get some more of that chunky glitter put on, and then I went ahead and drew on those stars, that'll finish off these tags. Once again, this is a part of a whole series, so I'm going to have my blog linked down below. Be sure to head there so that you can get all the information about the different tags and how to participate. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.